about that. So I have a special guest today, and he is very important to my life and to my journey. It is my uncle Garland Thompson.
Hello, Dees. How are you? Good to be here.
Man, it don't sound like it.
Well, we warming up. We early in the
Oh,
first
okay, all
quarter.
right, all right.
Yeah, you can't give them the fourth quarter in the first quarter. So
There you go.
we gonna get it going.
Okay.
Look, y'all. So today is a big moment for me because my uncle told me that I had not invited him to the show, y'all. And so I really didn't think he wanted to come because the man be busy. He's a busy man.
That's true.
And he always is on the go. And I don't want to make him feel like, he got to stop what he's doing just for what I want him to do. Even though I know, he loved me and cared about me, so I'm sure he would.
Of course. Some things are worth stopping for. So I was just curious how we got to episode 44.
Man.
And the first 43, I was absent. I've been in the country. I haven't been incarcerated. I don't know how I didn't get invited, but she says she loves me. Nevertheless, we're here now, so let's get it going.
Man.
Okay, so season 5, we have been discussing pushing through.
Yeah.
And we make everybody tell us a little bit about their journey. And
Sure.
so how would you say your journey started off going into, young adulthood, figuring out what you want to do and how you want to do it?
Of course. My journey was pretty unique. Growing up, born and raised in Houston, Fifth Ward to be more specific. And I had to navigate life in a interesting time. I like to tell people I spent my childhood in a wild hood. I witnessed all sorts of things growing up, from narcotics, from prostitution, from police raids, all sorts of things. And inevitably, I just had to make a decision. I had to make a choice. I mean, I can genuinely state I can't think of 10 people that I grew up with who hasn't either been shot at or been imprisoned or as an ancestor now. So I had to choose to make better choices of how I want to live my life. And inevitably, I was always paranoid of going to jail because I saw the fast money. I saw the allure of what that looked like. But all I was seeking to do is find a basketball and find a young lady. That's all I was focused on as a teenager. So therefore, those two things worked pretty well for me. So I just had to kind of do what I was seeking to do. And obviously, as you know, as a 21-year-old, I found myself having a child on the way. And that's when my life really pivoted. I had to give away the hoop dreams and all of the kind of silly things and had to focus on locking in. I had to stop finding jobs and chase after a career. And from there, I went to PV and grabbed 2 degrees from there. And once I got into ministry, I went and got another Master's of Divinity. And a year ago, I've earned my doctorate degree. So I'm technically Uncle Doctor now. So in essence, I tell people that don't think that you have to be at a space where everything is green and everything is easy and simplistic. Life be life into us all.
Yeah.
The question is, what you gonna do with the cards you're dealt? You got to play the hand God gives you and play it to the best of your abilities. So I tell folks everywhere I go, do not allow your situation or your environment to predicate what you can accomplish, what you can achieve. If you have the wherewithal to push through, God just expects us all to put one foot in front of the other and to pursue all of which He gives you the ability to pursue. And you got to let the chips fall where they may. And I'm grateful that every day I choose to let the chips fall where they may.
Man.
And that's big. The chips fall where they may.
For real.
And so, with me being a part of watching you transition from a young man walking around with them long, what you call them?
Coveralls. I used to.
Jersey.
Oh yeah, I had throwback jerseys. Gucci overalls.
When I tell you, my uncle had every single whatever throwback jersey.
You couldn't miss me.
It was almost like he was collecting them.
You couldn't miss me. You could not miss me. I'm telling you. You thought I played in the NBA. I had all the jerseys. You couldn't miss me.
That's what's up.
And I tell people though, he showed me that anybody can change if they want to. Yeah. And I'm gonna say that because I watched him you know, not care about certain things as much as, you know, he does now.
Sure.
And to see him pivot the way he did and stop all those things, what they say when, you know, when a man becomes a man, he put away childish ways. I don't know how the scripture goes.
Close enough.
All the way.
Close
But,
enough.
so it's just to watch you do that and to watch you start your journey,
Sure.
you know, more seriously with the Lord because you was always a
Of
believer.
course.
But to see you dive in and
Yeah.
really take in all the things that you could learn from it
Of course.
and grow from it, that was big. And so I'm sure there was obstacles and that I don't even know about
Yeah.
that you had to go through
Of course.
to make you see that, man, you know what, I got to do this thing for me because I'm the one that matters at the end of the day. Because we say we do it for our kids and for our loved ones, but if you don't do it for yourself,
Yeah.
how can you show anybody anything, or how can you even do it for them if you can't push it for yourself? So how would you feel about that?
Honestly, I think people who suggest that they do things for other people is putting on like an act or a facade.
Mm.
It's impossible to pursue dreams, live through other people.
Mm.
And I tell folks, you maximize your opportunity, and everyone you're connected to will be the benefactor of your evolution.
There you go.
So when I got serious, the only person I can give some credence to of my journey was my child, my firstborn son. That's when I really got focused and serious about life because I realized you're about to bring a child into this world. You're already a young 21-year-old yourself.
Right.
You got to get serious about life and be able to show him what you did not have.
Right.
Because you obviously you know this, and it's in my book. My book will be dropping soon, but that's another story for another day.
Come back for that.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up fatherless, so I have no baseline. So I tell people, in particular men, that God is still working with me, but I consider you less than dirt if you don't take care of your responsibility.
Come on.
Well,
Because ultimately, it does not matter your environment. I tell folks, I had no blueprint to show me what being a man was like. I didn't really get around real men until I was 17 years old. Yeah, I had guys in the hood I grew up around, but they were teaching me street senses. But that's not real life. You know, it teaches me how to chase fast money and chase a bunch of girls. Yeah, that get cool, but it get old quickly. It wasn't until I kind of started chasing one particular girl that I got exposed to other men at the church in which I found God. Because I can be honest with you, niece, I wasn't looking for God.
Right.
God inevitably used a vulnerability of mine to draw me closer to him. I went to church for all the wrong reasons. I used to have a saying that I need to probably copyright. You pick where we go, I pick where we end up.
Yeah.
And you can fill in the blanks however you so choose. So therefore, if you invited me somewhere, of course I go with you because I'm trying to get to a means to an end.
Yeah.
And it got so real that I decided to go to church with this young lady, and it got so real that I thought she was literally telling my business to her uncle, which was the pastor at the time. That in his sermons for about several weeks, it got so personal. The only thing he did not do was call my name over the pulpit. I thought she was snitching on me. That's what I projected was happening. And that's how God drew me closer to him. So I tell folks, man, you got to make decisions. And when I got serious with God, I was still playing, and God had a way of shutting down doors and opportunities because when God has a calling on your life, you have to lock in and pursue it because God does not care about our backgrounds. God doesn't care about your mistakes. God does not care about your shortcomings. And so often we have allowed people to tell us who God can use, who God cares about, who God can do things through. And inevitably, I tell folks, man, chase after your authentic self. God already know who you are. You ain't got to fake it for these professional church people. Just do what you are called to do and push through and go to where you're seeking to go. But inevitably, niece, many folks don't know what they want, so they don't know what to push through.
Come on.
I'm willing to argue without fear of contradiction. The average person has no clue what they want. You ask them specifically, okay, what do you desire? What are you chasing after? And they tell you a bunch of things that are arbitrary. Man, I just want to be successful. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Well, I just want to be blessed. What does that
What
mean?
does that mean?
And most folks do not know what they desire, so therefore they don't know what to push through because they don't know what they're pushing to. You have to know where you're going to know what you're pushing through.
Come in, say that part again.
Well, it really comes out better the first time. I would never be able to say it again. I mean, you have to know what you are pushing through to know what you're pushing to. In essence, you have to know where you are going. Jess, you know this. I fly a lot. I travel a lot. I've never been to an airport and the plane does not know where it's going. I will not get on a plane. They tell us we just gonna end up where we end up. Now I'm good. I'm a chill. So therefore, they know where they are going. So therefore, however the plane takes off, they know when turbulence is coming. Yeah. They know when bad weather is coming. They know how to navigate to get to their end destination.
Yes,
and that's inevitably with life.
Come on.
God knows our end destination, but are we willing to experience some turbulence to get to where we're going? Or do we only want to push through when everything is all peachy keen and all serene and nice? Yeah. And that's not reality.
That's not pushing through.
That's not pushing through. But most people want the road less traveled because it's simple.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wants to reach the mountaintop. No one wants to climb the mountain.
Come on.
They're looking for an escalator or an elevator or somebody to pick me up and take me there. But if you are trying to get to the top of the mountain, the only way to get there is to go up and climb the terrain to get to where you're trying to go.
Man, you just said
look,
so
he said
much
it all, did he?
in about what that was, 10 minutes.
I don't
He got on their head real quick.
Man,
I love
he got on my head.
Right, I mean,
he got on my head.
And so, look, this literally, he is way more detailed than what he was when he used to get on me. But I love that. I've always looked up to your honesty, and that has always drawn me to be around you, to be up under whatever you said. And people be like, you know, well, he ain't even married to you. You know, but I say, well, at the end of the day, he treated me like I was his niece way before they even got married.
Of course.
So it was bigger than them getting married, and you know, it was cool. You know that everybody loved him. He was nice, but at the end of the day, that stuff is temporary. People can be nice for just a moment, and I think the fact that even when the divorce went through, I was still checking on him, making sure good, and I feel like that kept our bond stronger, so strong that he is my daughter's godfather. And I always felt like my children would benefit from being around him and seeing him, and I love him. So that's why I've always talked about how he pushed me to finish school. Like, I'm done with my bachelor's, and now I'm almost done with my master's. And it took me going to his his first master's graduation in Prairie View, and in which I'm going to Prairie View now.
Come on.
And just watching him walk across that stage, and you know, we was cutting up. I ain't gonna lie, you swear we all graduated when he graduated, and just to see that, I'm like, I want that feeling for me.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? I want to feel that same feeling. And so when I finished my bachelor's, I reached out to him. I said, man, look, I want you to write this paper because I got to get into this master's program for counseling.
Absolutely.
And it's just to have that support from you, I just really appreciate you, and I thank you. So
of course.
Clap it up for you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. And you know how we do. As you mentioned, when your Auntie and I split, Lord, that was a minute ago.
Yeah.
And obviously we closer now than we was back then. We was young and irrational, borderline Bloods and Crips. but now, you know, we grown now, and we almost have a 21-year-old grown son, and nothing has really changed. I mean, it was a few folks that switched up because that's what people do. When you really want to know when the rubber meets the road, let some controversy come and see who is still sticking beside you. And that's why I tell folks, between you, your sister, your brother, blood couldn't make us any closer. These folks, I don't care about some of these other ancillary things because there's a lot of fake folks out here who you share DNA with. Yeah. So in essence, man, when she and I split, there was some folks that I said, okay, now I kind of know how you handle me. You know, I'm your uncle, your nephew, this, and I love you here. Yeah. And all of a sudden you chose a side, and that's okay. Once I know who a person is, in the words of Maya Angelou, I believe it.
Yeah.
So therefore, I can pay attention. I can still smile and love you from afar, but do not let the smooth taste fool you. I'm still from the hood. And the hood will never go away. Every time I try to suppress Fifth Ward will still remain strong. And I just tell folks, once you kind of know who people are, once they start switching up on you, just got to be cautious of how they move. And like with you and your sister and everybody else, I'm always a phone call away. Whatever you need. Your sister literally needed a recommendation letter a couple weeks ago. Called me 10 o'clock at night for a letter. And I stop what I'm doing and do it because I love you guys and y'all are important to me. So no matter how busy I am, and Lord knows I need a clone, it is the people who I am closest to will always have space in my heart and space and access to me. Now, don't get me wrong. There are a whole lot of folks who do not.
Yeah.
But the people who do, I give that preferential treatment because they've earned a space in my silo. And you have to really learn who you let in your circle. Because there are a lot of folks that are in our circles that is causing irreparable harm because you grew up with them, because you cool, and because all these other things. And if you keep
irreparable harm, man.
Irreparable harm. I'm going to hit you with a couple of thesaurus words. You're going to have to, your listeners going to have to grab a dictionary and Google it.
Yeah.
And I'm trying my best not to really bless the people. I'm trying to make sure people understand what I'm saying. We can go scuba diving or we can stay in the pool. It's kind of whatever you want to do.
Scuba diving.
Yeah, we can go scuba diving. But just, you know this, your whole topic of pushing through is so many tentacles that you can kind of look at this in life.
Yeah.
You got to push through profession. You got to push through for your family. You got to push through to chase your dreams and aspirations. But before you can do any of these things, you have to push through to discern who is the man or the woman you look at in the mirror. Do you even like yourself?
Yeah.
Do you even love yourself? Do you value yourself? Or have you allowed people to place value on you?
There you go.
Because there are so many people that derive their value by what other people think, what other people say. They're looking for the pats on the back. They're looking for the applause. They're looking for you go girl, you go boy. But when you are comfortable with the skin you're in, it don't matter who's not coming with you because of who told you to go. And I believe that your audience should continue to first figure out who they are.
Yeah.
And then secondly, know where they're seeking to go. And if they can do this, I just believe this is the start of them being able to push through to wherever God has assigned for their life.
I really appreciate that because I try to tell people I don't just bring anybody on my show. I take it very seriously.
Of course.
At the end of the day, people reach out to me, of course, friends, family members, people that I know business-wise that are doing good things. But I don't feel like I should just have anybody on here that's not on point with what they're really trying to do and have a direction that they're going in. And I think a lot of times people be like, man, okay, Jess, I see you. You don't want to put, I hate to say the word, but you know how they say.
Hey, I know.
And so it's not that I don't want to put my people on, but I don't want to just have you on here just so you say that you're on here. Because I'm very intentional about each episode, each season. These are things that I pray about, that I meditate about, that I reach out to my mentors about. Like, I don't take this lightly. Me and this man have whole meetings 2 to 3 times a week about what we're going to bring for the rest of the season. Well, we already thinking about season 6.
As you should.
So it's just, I'm not here to BS around. My listeners know I'm coming real raw, real quick. I mean, because that's how I was raised. I tell people, I was raised up by strong men. I gravitated to all the men in my family. Not that my women in my family are not strong. I love them to death. But what I see the man do, that's what I'm on. I'm trying to get into some real futuristic. I'm talking about generational wealth. That's what I care about.
100%.
What legacy am I leaving behind? And I tell people, you can look on any platform. You're going to see Jess talking, first of all, about Jess. Because at the end of the day, the internet ain't going nowhere. You're going to always be able to see all of my works and all of my labor. I don't care if I don't make close to the money I need to make off this. I care about people knowing that I meant what I said and I stood on big business. Not the little
big business.
So it's just important to me that people know that I am not just here to be looking cute, because I do look cute, but at the end of the day, I have a message and I have a word that I feel like was instilled in me to help other people.
Course.
I'm just here to help.
Of
One
course.
of the hashtags and stuff. But that's a real thing. I want to help people and I love to see people grow. And my uncle can tell y'all, all of my life I've always been outgoing. Like whatever I can do for anybody.
Yes.
I'm talking about Thanksgiving, Christmas. I used to stalk this man to death.
Almost to a fault. Almost to a fault.
And it's just one of those things. I tell people, once I love you, you stuck with me. So you might as well hang it up.
Of course.
You know, now the people that I don't love, I keep them in my prayers. But the people that we locked in.
Yeah.
Like I hunt this man down.
Absolutely.
Because he thought it was a game. I stood on big business.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
But it's all in love because somebody cared enough about me to check on me.
Of course.
So if I feel like I haven't heard from somebody in a while, like I said, I had a whole dream. I don't even remember the dream, but I know my uncle was a part of my dream, and I had to call him and check on him.
Did.
And I had realized we hadn't talked probably in a real year, like actually talked.
Yeah.
And that's terrible.
It is.
And what I'm learning is you can't be that busy.
Yeah. We just hitting and missing each other. We text every now and then. We gotta take time.
But you have to take the time.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking about all the people that have passed, before this year. People that passed this year.
Of course.
Like you remember my friend Stacey, she passed, and it's just I felt terrible. I had no idea my friend had lupus.
Wow. Yeah.
And I'm older than her, so it's just one of those things that affected me and it hit me really hard.
Yeah.
And that just really made me reevaluate myself. Like Jess ain't that impressive that I can't make sure people ain't. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my people I talk to all the time, of course I'm gonna talk to them, but those that you have not heard out from, man, check on them. It don't hurt to shoot that message. It don't hurt to get the phone and make that call. It'll take you all the 5 minutes to say, man, you been good.
Yeah, and I try to do that same thing. Whenever God puts somebody in my spirit, I'll reach out to them because we do get busy. I mean, we are chasing. When you're pushing through, you're chasing what God has you to chase. Sometimes you get tunnel vision. You get so locked into what you're trying to do that you can get really kind of consumed with where you're going. But it doesn't hurt to reach out to people. And Jess, you said something a moment ago that people are contacting you to get on your show and to lock in with you. The next time someone asks, do Uncle G a favor. Ask them, what do they have to say?
Yes.
Because a lot of people want to get on a platform with nothing to say.
Nothing.
If you have nothing to say, why should I expose you to people who are counting on me to provide content and valuable resources to allow you to dilute my platform?
Yes.
Because it's nothing for someone to go live. Anyone can go live.
Right.
However, I'm willing to argue 90+ percentile of the percentage of people going live really have nothing to say. It's drama, it's foolishness, it's stupidity, it's just mess, and there's enough toxicity in the world for several generations. Let's learn how to really add value to whatever we're trying to do. So when people ask you, just ask them what they got to say. And if they can't put a couple sentences together, just tell them, may the Lord bless you and keep you. Give them the benediction. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious towards you. You got to learn how to give people the benediction. And I'm really good with that. Hey, I'm really good with that. And also, niece, no is a full sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't give a lot of explanations. Aside from my wife, maybe one of my children, I don't really give a lot of explanations. If I say no, it's really a full stop. And particularly if there's not an invoice or a deposit attached to this request. I really say no. Now, if this is a business transaction, I may give you a couple more minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're just trying to grab my time or my energy, I'm too busy for that. And I am willing to pour into people I know and I mentor and I'm connected to. However, I can't give everything to everyone because I would then be depleted. So therefore, I'm not going to do that. I mean, I like to tell people just, I can help you with the what.
Come on.
Possibly even some of the detail. But once you start asking me the how, that's a charge.
Yeah.
That's an invoice. If I got to show you how to do it, you're going to have to pay me for that.
Look, it's crazy you say that. So I just finished reading this book, Who Not How. And when I tell you that book, and your niece is an avid reader. I read very well. But that book, that was probably the quickest that I've read a book in a very long time. I'm talking about I read the pages in less than 5 days. Because I'm just like, I saw, you know how like you have these thoughts and you know what you've been trying to do and what you want to do. and then boom, something to click. It's
Absolutely.
like when I read that book, the light bulb was just because I have so many projects.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I like you said earlier, I'm one person, so I literally can't do everything. I would do my best, you know, but one of my mentors, he always tell me, he said, Jessica Michelle, you can do anything you put your mind to, but you can't do all of them at the same time.
That's a fact.
And he's somebody really big businessman, does good things. And so I'm just like, okay, he has a point. And then one of my new mentors, I'm very excited about her. So Sabrina. And so she was just like getting on me about relaxing and giving myself patience. She said, "You're not patient with yourself."
Sure.
She said, "You just be going. And I do, because that's how my brain goes. My brain be on it. So my brain is not playing with y'all.
I understand.
But in real life, you know, when I'm going live and I'm on the radio, people are like, "Oh, she just chilled out." I'm not chilling out. I had to practice chilling.
Hey, I get it.
I had to practice chilling, because once I'm on the road, I love reading, because I be texting this man, calling this man, and he probably be like, "Here she goes."
Got to put on do not disturb. That we got to do.
We're always productive with it, you know. So it's
but
cool.
Even then,
keep me on my toes too.
But even with that, you got to make sure you have harmony, not balance.
Yeah.
I'm not one that believes in balance. I'm one that believes in harmony. Because balance is really unrealistic, unattainable.
Yeah.
If you think about your life, what do you do 50-50? Because that's what balance is, equality. Yes. I can't think of it. My arms are probably not even the same length. I can't think of a single thing that I do 50-50. So I'm a big proponent of harmony. And just, obviously, I've been knowing you practically your whole life. You got to find a way to not allow your brain and your aspirations to cause you to burn out. Because ultimately, when your brain is going the way it's going, at some point, you got to say, okay, let me slow down, break this down, and let me focus on 3 to 5 things I want to do right now. I know it's 55 things in my head, but I can't do 55. Let me do 3 to 5 things exceptionally well. And then after I do those things, then I can add on some more. Because in essence, if you're doing so many things kind of minimally, you're doing a lot of stuff, but you ain't doing nothing that well. You just are doing a lot of things. And I much rather dominate 3 to 5 things than you doing 50 things kind of average. Because I'm kind of allergic to average. I break out in hives. You know, I don't even speak average. So that's just kind of how I move.
Well, I understand that, and I have been learning a harmony for myself, because you know, I've always ran and things like that. So I was working out quite a bit as usual, but I realized I hadn't been running. And I don't know what it is about running, y'all, but that just helps me so much mentally. And so ever since I started back running, I've been getting up earlier, because I always wake up early, but I made myself go and get up early and run. And versus doing my calisthenics and all that I was doing. It's fine and it works, but for me, I'm a runner, so I have to run. And so that has helped dramatically. And then it makes me go to sleep earlier as well, because I'm out there. I've been giving this day 130%, y'all. I have nothing left after this day. So
empty the clip.
It's really like, it helps me so much mentally, and it helps me be more centered.
Of course.
Because sometimes, like I said, my brain feel like it's doing this. And you can't do that. That's not realistic, and you're not accomplishing that much.
Of course.
Like, you accomplish stuff, but like you said, it's not to the full potential.
You're just doing stuff.
And so I had to really learn to trust people more and outsource. And that was hard.
That's very hard.
It's important. Because you don't have all the answers. And after reading that book, y'all, I'm gonna post that book for y'all, because that book really did something.
Now, Jess, you gotta trust the right people, not just people. That's critically important, because oftentimes people have a lot of stuff to say, but really no credibility of how to do it.
For sure.
And
I learned that the hard way a few times already.
I mean, you have to really pay attention to folks. And I know for you, running has always been kind of your thing, and running is probably cathartic for you. So therefore, it helps you to clear your mind. And wherever you need to help clear your mind, that's what you need to do. I often tell people, find healthy ways of decompression. This world is already inherently stressful. I mean, driving to work in Houston traffic is stressful. Seeing what's happening on the news every day is stressful.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much happening. If you can't find a healthy way to decompress, because I know a lot of us like to run to clear or brown or a combination of the two. They like to put it in the air and wave it like you just don't care.
Just don't
I
care.
get all of
They
that.
just don't care.
I get all of that. However, what goes up must come down.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care how well that brown beverage makes you feel. At some point, it's going to wear off. You're going to sober up.
Yep.
You have to deal with your reality. So find healthy ways to process and to decompress and to really chase after what you believe God is calling you to do. But it starts with you knowing where you want to go. You cannot push through anything if you do not know where you're pushing to.
Yes.
I believe that with everything in me.
I know that's
I
right. Me
appreciate
too, man. Me too. Pushing through, you mentioned when you had your son
Yeah.
that your life took a pivot.
Yes.
I'm a father as well of 3, and I can recall multiple pivots
Yeah.
in fatherhood,
Same.
man. But what I realized is that our children need different parents at different stages of their life. You know what I mean? And I find it a struggle in parenting. We always see our children as that baby we was holding.
Sure.
And at 7, they need a different parent. At 14, they need a different parent. At 18 and 21, they need a different parent. You know, so pushing through those stages isn't easy. What's like one piece of advice you can give a young man in maybe trying to understand that early enough before it even happens?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I guess what I would say is, one, you have to be present.
Yeah.
And don't be so consumed with getting presents. Because so often we think what we can buy our children is what will make them love us more.
Yeah.
When in actuality, most of the time, a kid cares more about your present than presents.
Yes.
Secondly, I would say is learning how to trust God to help you navigate fatherhood.
Yes.
Because in essence, you do have to be somewhat of a chameleon as you're raising your children.
Yes,
because
sir.
I have 3 sons. One was about to be 21, one is 14, one is 12. How I talk to the 21, soon to be 21-year-old is completely different than how I talk to the 12-year-old.
Yeah.
But yet they still need a version of their father that can help them navigate the space they're in.
Yes.
And I have to pay attention to what space they're in and have a openness to communicate with them, because it's a different day they're living in.
Yes.
There's so much happening in their schools. There's bullying, there's school shootings. Growing up, I went to HISD school districts, Dogan Elementary in 5th Ward, Fleming Middle School in 5th Ward, Cashman High School in Trinity Garden. I've had or witnessed countless fights. I've had a couple. Now kids are bringing guns and knives and all this other stuff. They practicing school shooting drills. We didn't have none of this stuff when I was in school.
Practical. That's
So
crazy.
our kids are dealing with inherent stress, and you have to be present to talk to them and communicate them and to tap into them, bro, to see what they are dealing with.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
just turn them to an iPad.
Yeah.
Don't just turn them to the PlayStation. Don't just let them go Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
Learn how to be present. I don't care, brother, how busy you are. This is a blessing from God,
Yes.
being a father. There is no greater joy that I have in raising my kids, knowing that I am contributing to 3 people in society that I pray will be better than me.
Then males at that.
I got 3 boys,
Yes.
3 male sons,
Black males. Too.
living in a world that is antagonistic to their black skin.
Yes.
And my middle son is 6'1". He's the tallest one in the house, but he's 14 years old, size 13 shoe.
Yeah.
So if you see him, he's a big kid.
Yeah.
However, I have to trust God as he meanders about to make sure that people don't see my child as a threat just because he's bigger than the average 8th grader.
Yeah.
And I have to let them know that you are not going to antagonize my child. You're not going to judge my child. You're not going to try to handle my child. But I said this earlier, guys, I've never been to jail, but there's a few reasons I don't mind going for.
That's
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
If you're messing with my kids, I ain't even gonna evade the police. I'm gonna wait till they get there.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna be drinking on the Palmer till they arrive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it. Yeah, they laid on the concrete. Yep, I'm the one that did it. There you go. And I ain't got no prize. I'm gonna get right out. And I got a little money to get myself out.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm not doing no tripping as it pertains to my own. And I would tell fathers, man, be present. Be engaged in your child's life. They need you. It don't matter what kind of money you do or do not have. It does not matter your relationship with that woman, because I don't care if you can't stand her. That ain't got nothing to do with that child.
At all.
Absolutely. I remember vividly when Junior's mom and I, when we first split, I had to pick him up from his grandmother's house because me and her couldn't be in the same room together.
Yeah.
I'm talking about it was Ukraine and Russia before Ukraine and Russia.
I know that.
We couldn't be in the same room
It was
together.
a real thing.
But if you think that was going to stop me from seeing my child, it's no way. But there's so many cowards. We ain't on fire, are we? But there are so many cowards who allow excuses to stop them from taking care of their responsibilities. Oh, well, she won't let me see my child, and she won't do. Man, I'm telling you, I wouldn't pee on you if you was on fire if you don't take care of your responsibilities. I have no respect for you. And God's still working on my heart. I have no respect for you.
I know that's right.
Period.
I know that.
And that's what I would recommend to a young man who may be listening.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. And I'm sure they would too, man. I just feel that exposure is key. And we might not be able to be next to somebody, but the conversation and enough of us that has experienced these things can talk about it. Because I come up in the era where the elders didn't really speak about.
Yeah.
You know, they were so beat up and battered emotionally and everything physically. And then when it's your turn now, well, you know, hey man, I already dealt with that.
Yeah.
I did. Nah, bro, you still bitter.
Yeah.
You ain't even healed yet. Listen to how you put that on me. So I think, you know, it's just important for a young man to know, hey, yeah, that wonderful bundle of joy is amazing, but those feelings you have at that moment is not gonna be the same ones at 7 that he need.
Of course.
You know, and then again at 14, that's another pivot.
Yeah, of course.
You know, then again at 20.
Yeah.
So just to consider that
certainly
on that journey, like you say, in your presence.
Yes.
In their lives, you know, just consider that because, like Doc said, Uncle Doc, your presence is the most valuable asset and the most valuable memories
absolutely
that those children will have.
Absolutely. And man, you said something interesting with our elders, because most of them, man, are a bit traumatized.
Yeah.
And as the old saying go, hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
So you find people who are battered and beat down and they really have never did any internal work on themselves.
Yes.
So therefore they just pass down the trauma to you. And inevitably you have to choose to not pass down that trauma to your child.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of young men, man, who desperately need to talk to a therapist or a counselor. They're dealing with pain and abandonment and feeling less than and insecurity. And so often now we try to placate our insecurity by how many women you can get. How many babies you can make. And you just popping out children like they puppies. Because somehow or another you have been told that this makes me look like a real man. When in actuality you are a coward. So I would highly recommend that most people, I'm willing to say close to 100%, is carrying trauma that they don't even recognize that they are carrying. And they really need to talk to someone to unlock what's happening into, because all you're going to do is pass it down to the next generation. And at some point, I even had to make that choice with talking to a therapist years ago. I could have chose to be a deadbeat dad because I wasn't raised by one. I had the perfect example, the perfect excuse. Well, I didn't have a father, so therefore, once I found I was about to be one, I should have abandoned her like he abandoned my mother. But I had to make a choice that no woman would ever experience what my mother had to experience. This coward abandoning her. But that's a choice. That didn't happen. I didn't have a game. I didn't have no book.
Yeah.
I didn't have nobody to tell me this. I had to make a choice as a 21-year-old. Not that it wasn't no Uncle Doctor then. This was straight out of Fifth Ward.
Yeah.
I had to make a choice.
Was.
So again, excuses are over with, brothers.
Yeah.
Make a choice. Go get you some healing. Go get you some help, and stop abandoning these women to become single mothers because you are not man enough to take care of your responsibilities. Because I assure you, whether you have a son or a daughter, that child needs you present in their life, and do not allow that relationship with that woman to predicate you from being active in your child's life.
Yes. Man, I appreciate that. The people need to hear that. And I feel like because my podcast is mental health driven,
Sure.
I tell people that is always the key component. I say, when you look good, you feel good. Because that's a real thing for me. And I love him. Let me give you a shout out. This is my thing. So when you like right now, when I get myself together, baby, you can't tell me nothing. And my husband will tell you, I've been this way.
That is true.
Every necklace, all the earrings, every bracelet, because I like to, I wake up motivated. Because I'm like, let's go. Let's kill this day. Let's kick this day ass in real life.
Of course.
And it's just, when I say these things, people like, you like that for that's what I do. Yeah. That's how I am. That's how I was raised. My big mama raised us. When you see people, speak to them. Good morning, good evening, goodbye, good night. And so when I work in these corporate places and I see these people not saying hello, not saying good morning, it is traumatizing to me.
Hey, yeah. A lot of rude people out there.
Because people was like, how Miles, you making a big deal? No, it's a really big deal. Because I know my big mama turning her grave, seeing these people walk right by me, seeing a man not open the door for me. That's so disrespectful. And I just feel like it's the upbringing.
Yeah.
My 9-year-old is not gonna let his niece not feel comfortable. He ain't gonna let you feel uncomfortable. He gonna make sure the child see him.
Of course.
Ryan said it on business. Hey, how you doing? If he remember your name, don't remember you go get a greeting. Them children, I do not play that. I will. Like, I don't lay teeth out their mouth. If they gonna be disrespectful. We don't do that. And they be like, man, Mom, you be going on. I do. I always go out. Because I raised y'all to have the core values, the essential values. You respect yourself first. And that's respecting you. It ain't about them speaking back to you. It's about you initiating the conversation because you see them.
Of course.
Good morning, good evening, goodbye, hello. Open the door for somebody. I mean, if you already holding the door, why not let these people come to the door after you? Why would you shut the door?
Like, their arm hurt.
Of course.
Their arm hurt. And they don't want to hold the door.
And it's a little different though. Jess, you said something. Are we talking about a man or a male? That's not the same thing.
Oh, Lord. Somebody just said this to me yesterday.
Yeah, a man is, I mean, people consume or think a man is a man based off of their age.
Yeah.
But that could just be a male. And there's a lot of grown males that hasn't fully became a man yet. There's a lot of adolescent 40-year-olds that does not really know the essence of what it means to be a man. And being a man goes far beyond sexuality, goes far beyond wherever you work or how much money you have. Do you have the bandwidth to take care of people, to be honorable, to be respectful, to be a person who is integral, and all these other things? But there's a lot of males walking around here, Jessica. So I'm thinking you're talking about males more so than men.
Thank you. And I appreciate that clarification because I literally had this conversation, not directly like this, but similar. And so on that note, KERB, we love y'all. We thank y'all for all you have done. Thank you for letting Jess get on here and talk. And so today we had Mr. Garland Thompson Sr., my amazing uncle Doctor, like Mr. Reed just said, and Mr. Reed of Mr. Reed Catering Company,
absolutely.
Big baby. And so we will see you guys, of course, next Saturday. KERB, YouTube, we still on y'all. Hold up a minute. But KERB, we love y'all. Stay blessed and see y'all next Saturday. So YouTube, get on that head real fast. I like to get on them.
What would you like me to get on the head about?
Is what I want people to understand is you said something real big, and I can't let that go. You said some people are males and not men.
Yes.
I'm sorry, that's just so somebody told me something yesterday, and it was like, you've been dealing with males, you ain't been dealing with men,
Of
and
course.
that cut me deep because
Yeah.
you think that stuff, but it's kind of like to hear another man say it. It's like I know that's right, you know what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah.
it's the amen,
Yeah. Yeah.
So to hear a man that I look up to say that speaks volume to that. Also lets me know that the person that I'm dealing with
Of course.
is a man like I
Of course.
think.
Of course.
So,
Yeah. Because oftentimes we allow a person's age to determine their manhood.
yeah,
But in essence, you just can be a 30-year-old boy. You could be a 35-year-old boy. You could be a 50-year-old boy.
come on.
Or you could be a 12-year-old young man who has the maturity and the wherewithal to
Yeah.
be able to see and grow and to mature into the man in which God is calling you to be. And there are so many fully grown boys walking around. It's
Yeah.
just mesmerizing to me because they don't know. And some of them are carrying inherent trauma. Some of them are allowing the internet to raise them. Some of them are allowing the streets to raise them and thinking I need to hustle and do all these other things because, in essence, that's what they witness. So therefore, that's what they think they should be doing. But when you are genuinely trying to become a man, there are steps that must be taken. First is acknowledging who you are and whose you are. Secondarily, is finding your place in this world. Do not think you must be envious of another man or another person,
Yes.
or thinking that God has somehow made a mistake and gave your blessing to someone else. Like God is UPS or something and delivered it to the wrong address. Yeah. I mean, but when you are envious or when you are unsure
And
or when
pocket
you
watching.
are, oh my God.
Come on.
And most of the people who pocket watch don't have a clue of what inherent stress this person may be carrying.
Come on.
Or sometimes people put on the facade as if they're doing it better than they actually are.
Exactly.
There are a lot of people post the perfect imagery on social media. Very seldom do they post the negatives.
Come on.
You may have took 100 pictures to get that shot. You post that one and ignore that 99. And most of the people live in the 99, not in that one.
No, seriously, and that's a real thing, and it's crazy to say because one thing, Mr. Reed, I always try to capitalize on for the people is we not out here faking and shaking.
Yeah.
It's real stuff happening,
Of
and
course.
that's why I pushed through with such a personal topic for both of us.
Sure.
Because literally, when we came up with that, we was having a conversation of something I was going through.
Sure.
I had an accident and all these things. And so it was like through all of that, I still went to my business trip. I still make sure I'm on Motivation Monday. I'm on Triple Thursday. I'm on KERB Live, on that radio, on time. I'm on here giving these people what they need.
Sure.
Every time I told them I was going to do it. Because I have a job. That's my job.
Of course.
I've been given this position, from above. It's not something that I ever saw myself doing.
Sure.
But I was gonna tell you, I might want to be like I talk to people I know, but just talking to people I don't know.
You barely do that.
It's shut up.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
my thing was I was a popular introvert. I could do multiple things. I had all these skills, but if it wasn't on the track or whatever in the books, you weren't gonna know me. Like it's so many people that tell me, man, we was in such class together. I do not recall. I don't remember. Because I'm always in the zone.
Of course.
I was a true student athlete, and I carried those values into my adulthood. So to be able to be out here talking to the world, everybody is
that's the internet.
It's a big thing
for
me, and I just thank God for the opportunity and for all of my followers and subscribers because I promote and push all these things by myself, with the assistance of my assistants.
Sure.
So it's just. God is good, and I appreciate both you guys for being a part of today's show. This was episode 44, just like at the time. I know that's right. And so
I should have been on episode 5 for Fifth Ward.
But YouTube, I love y'all. Remember, when you look good, you feel good. And whoever you don't love, keep them in your prayers. But love on everybody that love on you. So bye, it's Jess. It just talks.
Peace.